This is the Elder Scrolls Online. We're here on PlayStation 5. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is a video I've been meaning to do for quite a while. The game has been taking up a lot of space on my hard drive, and I thought, hey, now's the time to finally dive in and take a look at what this MMORPG experience has to offer here on the PlayStation 5. So typically, I do have an Elder Scrolls expert that comes in and does like the reviews on this type of thing, but for this situation, we're kind of taking a look at it and the tech side of things. So it is worth kind of taking a look at the review we did a couple years back that basically kind of talks about everything. She's very knowledgeable in the whole experience, and the big change there would just be what the expansions that are yearly would alter on some mechanics of the experience here or there. But in general, yeah, it's kind of cool. This is a game that is constantly evolving. Every single year you get a brand new big expansion to the world and to the scope and lore of the Elder Scrolls Online, which is rather exciting. Something that you can enjoy kind of playing by yourself, I suppose, but with others is kind of preferred with a wide range of different options that are present in terms of how you play and experience this great world, from like delves to more intensive like dungeons, and then there's also the greater open world PvP type elements that are at play. And at the time of doing this video, the Gold Road is the big expansion that's kind of, I guess, basically wrapping up at the time of doing this video, if I'm thinking correctly. Because usually you get like a full kind of year of content, if that makes sense. You get little dungeons, a full big expansion, then you get like some smaller little dungeon things here or there, which is kind of exciting if you're a fan of this game and enjoy what it has to offer. It's certainly grown and expanded and changed quite a lot over the years. It's one of the best MMORPGs out there, if maybe not the best, depending on if this is the one that you fancy the most, but it's always a grand return to this world and something I thoroughly enjoy. So let's talk a little bit about the technical elements here. So there's two graphical modes that are present within this game. So in the options and then video, we have fidelity, which is your native 4K at 30 FPS. It has shadow settings at ultra, texture settings at high, increased view distance, ambient occlusion with LSAO and SSGI, anti-aliasing with TAA, planar reflections at medium, and circular bokeh depth of field. Then we can switch to the performance mode, which we're going to leave on for the rest of the game. And you can immediately notice that improvement to the fluidity with the experience, but a little bit of a resolution drop. So this is actually a dynamic 4K resolution. So there was, I think it's update 31, was the update that introduced, I guess we'll look over here for a sec just so you can see the beauty of this area. It's a very nice spot to showcase. But yeah, that was the update where they actually bumped it up, because originally it was hard capped at 1440p, but then with that update it became a dynamic 4K resolution at 60 FPS. So for this mode, the shadows are at ultra, texture settings at high, increased view distance, ambient occlusion with LSAO, SSGI included with that, anti-aliasing with TAA, planar reflections at medium, and circular bokeh depth of field. So very similar but slightly different kind of options between the two of them. So yeah, I guess they're basically the exact same between the two different options, but I thought I would kind of mention the full listing of what each of them has, because you got to remember that this is an improvement over what we had with the, I guess you would say, original version of the game, which is kind of cool. Acquired the Sky Shard? Sounds like a lot of work. So yeah, this is a nice upgraded next-gen quote-unquote and/or, well, basically, well into this point, current-gen version of the Elder Scrolls Online. And I thought it was just a good point, again, to basically present and talk about this. There's also HDR support and HDR options within the game too, so you can adjust how the HDR impacts the aesthetic and look of the game for how you want to play it. And there are a host of settings in regards to changing how your game looks in third person, first person, and everything like that. And yeah, it's pretty expansive. I mean, the Elder Scrolls Online has been around for a very long time. I like to say that, you know, from a mechanics kind of standpoint, this is something that is reminiscent of its origins being, you know, Skyrim and that, but the way classes and skills and everything are done is sort of unique to this experience. So there is definitely a good crossover between, you know, the magic of, I guess you would say, the Elder Scrolls Online and Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. And it has been so very long since Skyrim came out, and we're all kind of awaiting that next journey of the Elder Scrolls 6, whenever that eventually comes out someday way down the road, but I am looking forward to it. Anyways, this is sort of your ultimate ongoing flavor of life for Elder Scrolls content. As I mentioned, every year there's a new expansion, and typically I'll dive in and I'll do like a stream of it and, you know, kind of talk about it and work on it. And yeah, a little annoying there's not cross progression between the platforms. A little strange, I guess you would say, at least from the console side of things. The Sky Shard has been repaired. I am the chosen one. Talk to Norton. Where's our companion at, actually? Oh, okay. Well, I totally missed you. You were all the way over there. So yeah, like I was saying, it's kind of nice to dive into the world and keep playing this, and, you know, I'm sure different people have, like, created new classes and stuff like that over the years, but in general, you kind of pick where you fit into, you know, what kind of class and or setup you want to be a part of, and then from there you go on your great journey across the continents, and basically, I guess you would say you yourself decide how you look and how much of it you play, because the game has had such a wealth of, like, expansions and stuff like that. There's lots of different versions of, like, how you want to buy into it, if that makes sense. Like, are you grabbing the most recent sort of thing, or are you doing, I guess you would say, the Stone Fist? I find that thing so useless. Purchase for one skill point. I don't know. Anyways, like I was saying, like, it depends on how intense you want to get about it in terms of, like... Okay, I gotta claim my stuff. Sorry, I hadn't claimed my reward there. So how intense you get into it will determine, like, hey, how much you want to spend going in and basically doing certain, I guess you would say, areas, certain realms of the land, different sections. Every expansion kind of usually adds, like, a new area that you get to visit that you weren't able to prior. And then on, you kind of continue your adventure and being like, do I want to go and do some of the back content? It's a very, very rich and expansive world, is what you get here. I personally, some of the places I love, because I think this game has a really nice visuals, design, and art aesthetic to it. I really, really love Somerset. If you've never seen that area, it is quite magical. And it's very, very distinct visually in terms of having these, like, sunny kind of areas and these nice beach spots, and there really are some majestic locations in Somerset that you get to visit. But I always love recommending that one, just because I thought it was so cool. And there's other beautiful places. You get to go from, like, swampy areas to, I guess you would say, mushroom-filled locations that might be a little reminiscent if you love the elements of, say, Morrowind and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's kind of cool as you go out into the world and start your adventure and do all the cool things. This is what I talk about, like, the little bit of, well, not this specifically, but you know what I mean, like mushroom lands and, you know, great seas and deserts, and then there's these great overlord, the god things that are coming in and causing chaos across the realm, and
That means there is a traitor.
there's so much to do. We're just gonna skip that and jump into the action. But yeah, you'll be doing all kinds of things, carving your own path, like improving your character, exploring things, taking in the world. And of course, it's like literally nighttime. What are the odds that it's nighttime? The Great Port. And then, yeah, so this is this certain area. They've actually changed this a lot from when I first played this back. Because I kind of played it when it came out. Like, there was the beta, or whatever, the early access thing. And then there was all these expansions and revamps. This is Somerset here. Beautiful, beautiful landmass. But then you've got, like, the main coast area, and then different kinds of areas open up depending on what you do, and there's all these different trials, and all these great vast cities and locations to visit. And you can kind of follow the plot lines, like it's all sort of like narrated, it's all done in terms of giving you like quest lines to work through. And you can sit there and care about it, or you could kind of just skip through all the story stuff and get onto it really fast. The choice is really up to you and how you want to play and explore the world. You can also go do just like side activities if you want. Like, you don't really specifically have to do anything at any time. Like, you really can kind of go out into the world and explore at your own pace and do like daily quests and whatnot. It's really, really quite expansive, the world of the Elder Scrolls Online. I can't believe it's nighttime. What are the odds that I get, you know, open up into the big world and it's nighttime? Because it's like a cycling world, you know, the day, the night. You might get some like weathering type stuff going on. You're never quite sure what's gonna pop up. There's a way shrine. There's like a sky shard we can get. And I don't know, it's just kind of like a open-ended world for you to explore and dive into and have a great time with. There's just endless potential for this. I know some people have burned through the content and stuff, but there's a lot of really chunky, expansive stories that have been added over the years, and they all add hours upon hours of things to do and people to meet and things to see. And that doesn't even really mention you getting into the elements of, like, if you're playing with others, like, you can find yourself joining, like, the clans and the guild system and everything like that, and all the different factions, and you can have, like, pets and companions that are sort of like a step up, and yeah, there's a lot going on in this. Is it like a setting thing that's supposed to be night? Like, I really don't even remember this opening area. Like, I think back in the day you fought some kind of magical stone thing and got like sent somewhere, so they've definitely improved their onboarding, that is for sure. Because it gives you a good little taste of the action and stuff. And then it like kind of sets you up with a bit of an ease-in kind of world setup. It's actually pretty smart to do that, because you can dive in and do some different, I guess you would say, quest type things. And there's tons of different like places to go into and explore, and like taverns, and it's pretty big. Like, it really is. It's kind of crazy to think of how daunting it would be to actually get into this experience at this point, if that makes sense, because it does seem like there's so much content. But if you're looking for something that just is utterly ridiculous in terms of like what you can do and the endless adventures you can have, this is definitely one of those games. Where's this Howler person? Iron Gauntlets. I like it. I like it a lot. And there's all this armor and stuff like that. It's just like, it's kind of hard almost, because I'm used to having not a character that has a whole lot, but a character that does have more stuff going on. I thought Howler was supposed to be up here in the Great Lighthouse. I feel like I've come up here to just sort of scavenge away items. I'm gonna drink that away. Oh, it's mid-chai. I guess I could take that. Oh wait, he's not even over here? Oh, he's over in the town. That's hilarious. I thought he was up in the lighthouse. I just made the assumption right from the distance. That's kind of funny. And the magical elements are really cool too. This game also has a very fantastic fashion type scene. In terms of like crazy designs that some people have put together. Genuinely impressed by some of the things I've seen just exploring like the open areas, if that makes sense. Like there's some really, really cool locales that I've fought in and seen some just ridiculous cool designs and styles from people. They go wild. And then of course dozens of factions, and it dives so deep into like different lore elements of the Elder Scrolls, like just as the world of like Tamriel and stuff like that. It's really quite amazing. Can we hurry up with the Sky Shard collection there? That would be great. No rat is safe from me.
Oh, you aren't at all what I was expecting.
Wait, I'm supposed to collect the monkey?
Let's talk.
Oh, your friend.
What brings you? Remember, you can take clothes from hampers or off dead sea drakes.
Collect the focusing crystal. Collect the secondary focusing crystal. This just seems like a lot of work. Oh, I'm supposed to help free the crew. Oh, of course, okay. Yeah, I don't remember doing this back in the day. I mean, I might have, but...
Sit down.
It's really cool, too, when you get to the point where you have a bunch of abilities and your screen is just filled with particle effects. It's a familiar, okay. I don't have the Thieves Guild skill line. Just such a casual. Ardent Flame, One Soul Magic. Searing Strike, yeah. Get all these points. Character points, level up rewards. Yeah, you're supposed to very specifically tune and set up classes in a way that is specific to what your goals are. Yeah, my Elder Scrolls expert was supposed to help me at one point set up like a proper like class setup, but that kind of never really happened. Okay, that's a bit weird, but alright. Seems that's kind of some VRR thing kicking in there for the PlayStation. I do the Dragonite kind of thing because it's cool. At least I think so. Yeah, this is a better way to ease people in, I guess. I just wish it wasn't done at night. Although it does show off how beautiful the night is in this. I think this game's got a really nice style and aesthetic. I really do. Like, honestly. I love the vibe of the Elder Scrolls Online. Like, the art direction, I think, is just really kind of classy and vibrant. You get to visit some truly, like, majestically beautiful places. It looks really good here on the PlayStation 5, too. Throw that out there. Get working on releasing these people. I feel like I've just been doing, like, a circle in this town. Hopefully that other guard doesn't notice. What happened to this guy? So hopefully this kind of gave you an idea of the improvement and stuff like that that you get with this version of the game, and kind of gave you a vibe or an aspect of like what this game's like, and maybe helped you consider diving into the action as I cut up all the poor rats and everything like that. I'm just a monster out here in the lands of the Elder Scrolls Online, that's for sure. But I'll also be taking a look at this on the PS5 Pro, which is why there's a little bit of push to get this going, as to say.